continue games in Latin America after the pandemic. So how can the Latin American game market grow after the COVID-19 pandemic? Jorge Araya from Euromonitor International points out opportunities in Latin America amidst the situation in which games have become an entertainment option to a new public during times of self-quarantine. Yeah, so this session is in English, okay? If you want the translation in Portuguese, just access the link for the translation here on the channel, all right? Great, so let's have a really warm welcome to Jorge Araya, Senior Research Analyst at Euromonitor. Jorge, how are you?
Hey, Barbara, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks. So the screen is all yours. Be my guest.
Okay, let me share my screen now.
Jorge,
Do you see that?
I think that your webcam is just turned off. Can you turn it on again? Oh, yeah, that's great.
Sorry, I have some issue with my, I don't know, connection or I don't know what is happening. Please let me fix it.
Okay, Jorge, it's not a problem. We're going to put your presentation and you can speak, okay? So your webcam doesn't work properly, that's okay. You can still present the panel for us, is that right?
Perfect. Do you hear me?
Yeah, perfectly.
Perfect. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, you can start now.
Perfect, thank you. Hello,
Thank you so
everyone.
much.
My name is Jorge Araya. Jorge Araya, Senior Research Analyst at Euromonitor International. And today I would like to present you our vision about how can the Latin American game market grow after the COVID-19 pandemic. Next, please. So during the presentation, I would like to address these 4 points. First, mention the economic context that the region is going through today and how the video game industry grows amid the chaos. Second, as usual in any market, it's important to know the consumer. And in this case, I want to review the Latin American gaming profile based on the result of our Euromonitor survey. Third, we will see what opportunities are looming for the industry in the region. And finally, we will close with some key takeaways. Next, please. So let's start with the first section, growing amid chaos. Probably no one is surprised that coronavirus has not only been a sanitary crisis, but also an economic one. However, Latin America might be the most affected region. We see that in Brazil during 2020, GDP fell 4.4%, while in Mexico, the fall was more pronounced at 8.5%. Another key indicator for understanding the economic outlook is the unemployment rate. For example, in Brazil, last year it reached 13.5%, while in Colombia, unemployment affected 16% of the workforce. The unemployment rate is relevant to monitor because it makes it possible to magnify the consumer segment that is using their resources for the sole purpose of covering their basic needs. Therefore, under this scenario, a value proposition focused on the consumer, one that is empathetic and realistic, is key for any industry, even for video games. Next, please. Let's look at the regional context from another point of view, the household. The graph you are seeing corresponds to the growth projections between 2019 and 2024 by segment of Brazilian households according to disposable income before coronavirus and after coronavirus. We see that segments A and B, which correspond to the highest income households in Brazil, their growth projection before COVID were around 20%. Today, in the new context, their projection don't exceed 2%. At the other extreme, segment E, which correspond to the segment of low-income Brazilian household, before COVID were projected to decrease by 9%. However, today, the projection for these households are quite critical, growing by 10%. This means that coronavirus has limited or even reserved social mobility, a key factor for consumption and the economy. Furthermore, it also implies that poverty rates in this country and in the region are increasing. Does the social situation affect industries? Of course it does, since it is the consumer's pain point that company must deal with during the recovery. Next, please. Regardless of this very negative situation, toys and games was the best performing industry in the world during 2020. As you can see in the graph, the projected growth before COVID-19 was already positive and superior to any other consumer industry. However, the pandemic was the perfect storm for the toys and game industry that nearly doubled expected growth, reaching 14%. Why? Because entertainment is essential and multi-generational, which enhances the previous relevance of both traditional toys and video games. Next, please. Video games growth has been boosted in 2020 mainly due to an increasing interest among casual gamers, providing fresh opportunities for industry players to capitalize on. Looking back at the region, we can see that online and mobile games lead sales in Latin America. Mobile games sales grew 14% in 2020, followed by a distant 6% growth in digital computer game sales. What is happening behind these figures? First, digitalization is not a new trend, and interaction via digital devices were happening long before 2020. The pandemic has simply accelerated this shift in human interaction. And second, as consumers increasingly stay at home, online relationships and engagement will become more important than ever before. Next, please. Let's now review the Latin American gamer profile. Latin Americans are habitual gamers. Euromonitor lifestyle survey results for 2021 indicate that more than 50% of gamers from Argentina, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, and Mexico, regardless of their age range, play video games daily or at least once a week. In all these countries, the millennial segment, those who are now between 27 and 40 years old, stand out. In Mexico, they exceed 70% of high-frequency gamers. However, it's interesting to see, yes, that's the slide. It's interesting to see that in Brazil and Mexico, Generation X ranks second among habitual or dedicated gamer in 2021. In other words, In these countries, more than 60% of gamers between 41 and 55 years old play video games daily or at least once a week. To maintain the high rate of playing times, connectivity and internet infrastructure are key factors and also probably the biggest challenges for our region. Next, please. The high levels of smartphone penetration and a significant growth of mobile games have democratized the video games growth in the region, allowing more casual gamers to enter the space. According to Euromonitor survey result, upon asking consumer how often do you use your mobile phone to play games, the Generation X mobile habitual gamers grew 18% since 2015, which reinforces the link between penetration rates and video games popularity. Next, please. Okay. If we talk about emerging technologies, augmented reality and virtual reality technologies offer new lenses to view the world, adding digital elements to create a new experiential interface and leading to greater immersive participation from human cognitive and visual processes. Virtual reality has a higher penetration in Latin America, according to Euromonitor's Digital Consumer Survey. Nearly 27% of the respondents in Brazil used VR during the past year, while only 12% of respondents reported having used AR. From the consumer's point of view, however, the high, from the, yes, that's slide right. From the consumer point of view, however, the high cost of headset is reported to be the greatest challenge overall to VR usage. However, playing games was the typical activity selected by AR and VR users. Over 76% of respondents in Brazil, Chile, and Mexico. Next, please, now. Let's now see what are the opportunities at hand. The previous one, sorry? Okay, this is the other question. Okay, next slide. If we have to talk about opportunities in the industry, we must observe what is happening in the rest of the categories and products that make up the video game ecosystem. Currently, the key devices in this ecosystem include desktop, laptop, tablet, smartphone, and other more specific gaming products such as handheld and static consoles, and AR and VR headsets. If we see the main brand in this kind of devices, we can see Samsung leading the portable electronic devices, ranking first in tablet, smartphone, and AR, VR headsets. Its high-end products make the gaming experience more workable. On the other hand, HP, for example, has been increasing their gaming computer offering and focusing its innovation on gaming desktop and laptops, from entry level to premium, which is one of the only growth areas for this industry. This company has been supporting this innovation effort and rising brand awareness through partnership with eSport leagues, using the exposure to potentially tap into the gaming market. Sorry? Okay. Next, please. Looking beyond devices, home have become a multifunctional space during the pandemic. While video games, e-sport, and broader entertainment trend have provided a platform for the increased demand for gaming PCs and related components, the same factors, coupled with the shift toward remote work and learning, have also resulted in self for at-home gaming station, for example, office and gamer chairs. In Brazil, home office furniture sales registered 22% growth, the highest rate in 5 years. Uh, due to I have a little time to finish my presentation, please go to the takeaways, the key takeaways, please.
Jorge, hi.
Hi,
Are
what
you
was
listening?
happening? Yes.
Yeah, okay. So unfortunately, our time is almost close. Would you like to add the last comment to your session?
Yeah, so sorry. I had some technical issues at the beginning.
No, it's okay. Don't
Uh,
worry.
but please, uh, in that screen in my screen now, you can see my email. Please, if you have question about my presentation, please share my presentation. If you have a question, please send me an email if you want. Thank you very much.
Okay, that's great. Thank you so much, Jorge. And it's okay. Don't worry about those technical issues. We all have this kind of thing. It's all right. You know, we are all at home, so that's okay. Thank you so much for all of this info. It was really a pleasure to have you here with us.
Big Festival 2021, the biggest games festival in Latin America.